Hello Acolytes, and welcome back to my channel. I am very sorry about sort of just disappearing the last couple weeks. I've been working full steam ahead on Inktober, and this week's video is going to be kind of short just because I am so busy working on all of that stuff. But I decided to do a fun little Halloween-y, colorful illustration because so many of my illustrations this month have been black and white for Inktober. I was like, look, I want to do something orangey and fun and bright and colorful because I love the colors of fall and Halloween and that kind of thing. And I found this lovely Pinterest image of this little pumpkin skater girl, so I decided to take some inspiration from that, some pose reference, but obviously I did change it up a bit to make it my own. I gave her a dress instead of overalls, and I had her holding this other pumpkin because I thought it would be cute if like she had found this pumpkin or carved this pumpkin, or maybe it was like a boyfriend of hers, so I covered the pumpkin in all of these little smooch marks, little kiss marks, which was really fun, and I really enjoyed making that. So I just wanted to do something fun and cute. I am going to put this up on my shop, afterplagueart.myshopify.com. Link is on the screen right now. It's also in the description. I'm going to put it up in my shop as both a print and a sticker. So if you do want to get this as a print or as a sticker, please visit my shop. And if you do buy a print or sticker, please tag me or post a photo or at me or something, DM me. I really want to see the products that you guys got. I would be so thrilled to see somebody pick these up. Currently they are print on demand, but if you continue supporting me, I can bring production in-house and you guys can get some fun freebies and stuff. Something that I've been really interested in recently, not just within this art, but within a lot of my art, is texture. If you saw my last video, I was trying out sort of a half-tone brush, and I did really enjoy it, but I decided to go a different route with this illustration, and essentially just used the dry ink brush on Procreate for a lot of it. I used that for the general basic black line art, and I also used it for some of the shading and stuff later. I really like that brush. I think that it looks so interesting, not almost like pastel-y, not quite to the point where it looks like a crayon. I don't know. It used to drive me crazy when you could see like little white pixels or something in the illustration. And these days, I don't know, I just love it. I think it's so interesting. I feel like it looks more hand-drawn. I don't know. I'm just not that good at hand-drawn artwork, so I like the idea of making my illustrations look more hand-drawn. I used this same dry ink brush in a lot of my Inktober illustrations, in most of them, maybe all of them, now that I'm thinking about it. And so I'm really excited for you guys to see those. In previous years, I've been really focused on sort of clean lines, very defined shadows, that kind of thing. The first year I did it, I didn't even do any sort of hatching or anything, but this year I've been very focused on really making that hatching come forward, really textured, really interesting. I've been leaving in a lot of my pencil lines, which I don't know is allowed or not. I might be cheating, but if I'm cheating, that's okay, just ignore it. But yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to see some of my Inktober stuff. So I don't know, I just keep wanting to talk about it. But back to this illustration, I really wanted like a warm color palette. So first I did sort of this all over orange so that any color I added on top I knew would suit the overall orange and the warmth of this illustration. I am trying to get better at sort of color theory stuff. I think that the colors in this illustration turned out really well. I'm just not sure I 100% was fully on the ball in terms of paying attention to my colors. Like the black is not a black, it's just a dark brown, that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to focus more on color theory because a lot of times I do just sort of pull from a pre-made color palette, or I do something kind of monochromatic, or I put like a layer on top afterwards. So if you see me making a video about color theory in the future, that's why. I started out shading differently than how I wanted to. I started out shading and it looked fine, it just didn't have a lot of texture or dimension. And I thought that some of the edges were too stiff, too harsh, that kind of thing. So I did decide to, I like shaded the whole first pumpkin, her head, and then I was like, I don't really like this. So I went into the pumpkin that she's holding using a scruffier brush, using a lower opacity brush, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this sort of messy, like it's a painting almost, blend stuff out softly, and I really like how this looked, especially when I added in a secondary darker shading color that was like more of a brown or more of a rusty sort of red almost, I guess. I really think that it made the pumpkin look more like a pumpkin, more like a plant, as opposed to, like a plastic pumpkin. So I did the same sort of thing with her head. And I really like the way this looked, and I decided to continue this sort of shading method throughout the entire piece, where it's soft and textured and there's layers to the shadows, that kind of thing. I thought about giving them glowing eyes because I was like, well, if they're alive, then their eyes would be glowing, right? Or at least having a glowing center in the eye. And I'm still debating this. I think it would have looked good, but at the same time, I feel like how dark the eyes are, it draws your attention because there aren't a lot of areas in this illustration that are pure black. It's basically just their eyes, mouths, and the bottom of her skirt. So I'm not sure. It does make them feel a little bit more dead. I don't know. I would like to know your guys' opinions about that. Do you think that I should have given them glowing eyes, or at least some dots in their eyes that show some sort of life? I don't know. It's impossible for me to decide. So give me your opinions. I think this shirt looks pretty good. I think it's one of the weakest parts of the illustration, but it doesn't have to be very strong. I did put a lot of detail into the skates just because I really liked that bright orange. I think that's a very interesting color. It's brighter than even the pumpkins because it matches her dress. And I don't know, I really like it. I think it's really interesting. I wanted to make the eyelets look nice and shiny, so I went over them. I, put a lot of detail into like the laces and stuff. I added a lot of shading and shininess to the metal parts that are holding the shoes together. But yeah, I really liked them. And then her dress, I did this shading, and then I was like, I want something else on her dress as well. I wanted some sort of pattern because the reference image had a really nice pattern. So I went online looking for patterns, and I found this beautiful plaid, this amazing orange and black plaid. And then I used a clipping mask to attach it to her dress. So that it would, obviously just cover her dress area. And then I can't remember, but I did a second layer of it as like a hard light or a vivid light layer, and I really liked that. And then, of course, the finishing touches, I added those kissies back onto the pumpkin's face. I almost forgot them. And I just did this simple little background with these pumpkin stamps. I made both that kiss brush and the pumpkin stamp brush, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really good. I think it has a lot of texture. Again, if you like this illustration, you can go to my shop right now, afterplagueart.myshopify.com. It's available both as a print and as a sticker. So if you would like to get it as a print or a sticker, please send me a photo on Twitter, Instagram, any of my other social medias. I am Afterplague on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Threads. I don't know. I'm after_plague on X/Twitter. Thank you again so much for watching. I'm going to try and post a few more things before Inktober starts, but I really am super, super swamped. So I'm going to flash on screen right now. Bam! That's a preview of my Inktober work. If you're interested in seeing more of my Inktober work, stick around, subscribe. I'm starting to post shorts, TikToks, and stuff starting on October 1st. Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you with a lot more content soon, and I hope you survive this post-plague world.